Absolutely, we're going to have a whole different makeup, and when things don't go well, you need change. You can't just sit back and hope that it fixes itself.
You know, the guys that ended up getting traded were some of my real close buddies, and at the time it was tough. It was a tough change, and miss having their faces around the rink and stuff.
Yeah, it's always tough seeing guys go. You know, I've seen a lot of guys in my 3-4 years here go and come. It's always tough, but obviously it was needed.
You got to make them, right? You got to make yourself better. You know, you don't want to see those guys that you've played with for the last 2 or 3 years. They're your friends, your coaches. You respect, they respect you. You don't want to see those changes, but again, it's making yourself better. You got to make those moves, and that's just part of the game.
Change. It's one of the few constants you will find in junior A hockey. Players graduate, coaches move up the ranks, even support staff are hired by other teams and leagues. Just before the January trade deadline and the Vernon Vipers falling out of a playoff picture for the second straight season, the team started to show its frustration. It was growing clear that even more changes were on the horizon. After all, the Vipers had already made moves prior to December. Gone were forward Riley Hunt to Salmon Arm, defenseman Kevin Giltinan to Prince George, and Vernon native and second-year forward Jet Soloway was moved to the Vipers' Okanagan rival, the Penticton Vees. It was the first trade between the two clubs in over a decade. With the playoffs becoming a long shot, Vipers GM and head coach Jason Williamson had to put his top guns on the block, loading up for this coming season when the team hosts the RBC National Championship in May 2014.
Well, we had to look at where we were and where we were headed, and I thought that at that time, looking at the bigger picture and basically May 2014, I didn't think we had the right makeup of what we needed to be done, and I thought we had to be veteran and older, and we had to make some huge changes. Trading Adam Tambellini and Aaron Hadley wasn't easy, and those are two pretty good players, but I thought we just had to look for the future. We're going to have to make some tough decisions and make some changes. I think we needed to just shake up the group a little bit and say, you know what, this is a real business. This is a special place to be. We had to hold some people more accountable, and I thought that was January when we made those decisions.
And Williamson kept his promise, and by the offseason, the Snakes would say goodbye to even more players, including Jeff Crisfield, Braden Russell, Bryce Eviston, and Mitch McAllister. It was a move that didn't catch any vets by surprise.
To see a couple close buddies like that go, it was tough, but now it's focused on this year, and the guys that we brought in are all raring to go, and just excited to get the team together and get the season started.
Moving some of those older guys, they were really good players, but I think it allowed some of the younger guys to kind of step up, take a role, which then made our older guys realize, okay, these young guys are on board, so let's get after it. And I think the group we have now is what we want. So
yeah, I think it was a good move. Very smart. Again, we're putting our best step forward, right? So we're building, we're getting better. Everyone's coming together as a tight unit, which we want to be, and that's what you need to be in order to succeed. So.
And the wholesale changes didn't just end with the players. After the smoke cleared from a second disappointing season where the team failed to make the playoffs, the team said goodbye to assistant coach Jason Reed, head scout Larry Black, and marketing director Paula Coulter. Even longtime broadcast team Todd Miller and Don Klepp stepped away from the microphone.
A national championship year puts the Vernon hockey market really under the microscope on and off the ice. I think that you look at some of the things that have gone on off the ice and some of the struggles that we've had not only on the ice during the season, but we've had some struggles off the ice in some certain areas, and there are areas we need to tighten up and we need to clean up as an organization. And unfortunately or fortunately, when you're in the press box and things need to be dealt with, they're really extremely difficult to deal with, especially when they fall under your umbrella and under your job description. That's the real key. The Vernon franchise has always really led the way in the way things are done, and I see that as no different. It's time that we start to raise that bar again and continue to move forward.
For the Vernon Vipers, not only will they try and raise the bar this season, but also their 7th national championship banner. The team's road to the RBC starts now. Next time on Building a Champion, Road to the RBC. The Vernon Vipers welcome a number of new faces, and it's not your regular first day at the office. And Jason Williamson admits it's a do-or-die season.
I think I'm pretty honest with you and say that, yeah, there's a huge amount of pressure, especially in Vernon. I'm not going to hide behind it, but at the same time, I think that it's a tremendous opportunity as well.